Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're going to be breaking down a really dramatic and honestly pretty provocative script. It's all about the tech company VNG and its huge app Zalo. The source material we're looking at today, it does not mess around. I mean, it kicks things off with this incredibly stark choice. It's super dramatic, almost like something out of a play, and you can tell right away it's designed to just hook you in. Okay, so let's get into the main conflict here. The script basically says that using Zalo isn't just you deciding to download an app. Nope, it calls it a ruthless bargain. And the key part? It claims this bargain is forced on pretty much everyone. So, to really build its case, the script first has to show you just how massive Zalo is. And it doesn't just paint it as some popular app. The picture it paints is of something you literally can't escape in daily life in Vietnam. And check out this language. The source uses this really powerful and, let's be honest, aggressive metaphor, a noose. Wow. So the argument here isn't just, hey, this app is popular. It's that its presence is actually suffocating.
And this really lays the groundwork for the whole argument. The script's point is that Zalo has dug its roots so deep into society, I mean, we're talking everything from your family group chats all the way to official government announcements, that for most people, just deciding to delete it, that's not really an option.
All right, let's move on to the next piece of this narrative. This is where things get interesting, because the script sets up a kind of mystery. It puts VNG's public financial records side by side with what it claims is the company's real asset, the one that's hidden from view. The script points right to VNG's financial reports, saying they're losing money, and look at the imagery it uses, like a desperate gambler. This is all to set up a huge question. If the company is bleeding cash, what's the real goal? What game are they actually playing? And here's the script's big reveal. It actually invents a term for this: digital extortion. The whole idea is, because you have to use the app for daily life, giving up your data isn't a fair trade. It's framed as a form of coercion. This really taps into that huge global conversation we're all having about how much power big tech has over us. So, according to this narrative, the real jackpot here, it's not money. It's the insane amount of user data. We're talking about your every move, your private chats, your entire network of friends and family, and the script claims all of this is being gathered up in the shadows. Okay, just when you think it can't get more intense, the script adds another pretty explosive layer to its argument. It starts talking about foreign influence, and to make its point, it pulls out this really striking and definitely loaded historical comparison. And this is where the narrative points a finger right at a major investor, Tencent. It doesn't paint their involvement as just a normal business deal. No, it's described as something much more subtle, almost sneaky, a kind of infiltration. Just listen to the words it uses, like slither and whispers. So this slide really breaks down that core metaphor for you. On one side, you've got traditional colonialism. Think military force, grabbing raw materials. And on the other, you have what the script calls modern colonialism. Here, investments are the new armies, and user data, well, that's the new opium, the new resource to be mined and controlled. And here's where we hit the climax of the argument. This is the point where the script takes this whole thing from being about your personal privacy and blows it up into an urgent matter of national security for Vietnam. I mean, this is the most serious charge the script makes, period. The whole issue gets reframed. The argument is that giving up this massive collection of data on citizens, that's not just a bad business decision. It's presented as a total betrayal of the country's sovereignty. And to really hammer this point home, the narrative throws out this super dramatic rhetorical question. The implication is pretty clear, right? In today's world, if you control a country's data, you basically control the country itself. So how does the script wrap all this up? Well, it doesn't really offer any solutions. Instead, it leaves you with this final, kind of chilling warning about the future it sees coming if nothing changes. And according to the script, this so-called digital dictatorship, it's not something that's forced on people from the outside. The narrative suggests it's something people actually walk into willingly, that they build their own shackles with one simple click, that I agree button. And this really gets to the heart of the source's final message. The biggest threat, it argues, isn't some obvious enemy. It's a prison that's hidden in plain sight, one that's coded right into the fine print of the terms of service. The stuff none of us ever read. So the script just leaves us with this one last, really provocative thought. It frames the whole thing, the relationship between you and the app, not as a service you're using, but as a rigged game. And in this game, it claims the user is set up to lose from the start. It really makes you wonder, right? Is all this convenience truly worth the price?